Today's the day we turn this 7-inch tarantula into a bar of soap. Now you can keep this in your shower, you can wash your kids with it, whatever you want, but this creeper is the feature of today's Melt and Pour project. Now I'm going to start off by showing you that this girl arrived deceased and preserved and well packaged in one piece. Now we're going to cast this into a crystal clear melt and pour so she can sit on display, and we're going to recreate a decorative environment around her. Now the environment is not going to be a natural replication of her environment, but instead I'm going to make something that looks natural, and I'm going to use colors that will contrast against her natural dark coat so that she stands out. Here on the right, I've made these pieces that look like tumbled marble. Now this is made with cold processed soap using clay, charcoal, and glycerin, and in a coming video I'll show you how to make the full bars of these in different colors, but for now I'm just going to make these pieces look like white and black gravel. Now if you try to make this at home and you've already started Googling how to buy a tarantula, you'll quickly discover that you can buy all sorts of dehydrated creepers that have been processed for gourmet food. And these guys come in a can ready to be eaten. Now chances are those are all going to be shriveled up and broken, and you won't end up getting this beautiful specimen at this quality. Now the one I have here wasn't packaged for gourmet food, and even though she's clearly been prepared, I still don't know what went into preserving her or how that's going to hold up over time in our soap project. Now as I open the package, she does appear to be fully dehydrated, and I do see some chemical. Now whether that has to do with mounting her or preserving her, I just don't know. But I have seen some of these creatures that have had their innards removed and replaced with cotton. And when I pull her out of the package, I don't see any signs of taxidermy on her abdomen. So I'm thinking that her guts were just dehydrated. Now why is this significant? Well, this might mean that she won't last forever on your display shelf. She could end up molding over time, just like any other organic material that you would normally use in your soap, say like flower petals. But here, we'll just have to find out together. Now, you can kind of get an idea where we're going with this. I'm going to make her sitting in a pile of rocks with a few pieces of succulents speckled in, and the gravel will be a bit of a frame around her body. So let's get started. Now the first thing that I'm going to do is get the accent pieces prepared and set aside. Now I made this cold processed clay soap several days ago in a large 3-pound block, and I'm going to break it up into 1-inch pieces and set this aside. Now the soap hasn't fully cured, so it's all still malleable like dough, and we can mold them into shapes like gravel.
Never sees me, I'm losing every battle. No one ever sees me, I'm losing every battle. No one ever sees me.
Okay, our rocks are pretty rough looking, so I'm going to wash these down, and then we'll achieve that tumbled look with these rough pieces of soap. Now, melt and pour soap has already been made and packaged, and for this project we're going to use 2 pounds of melt and pour. This one is the crystal clear melt and pour from Crafter's Choice, and this one is going to cure just how you see it here. and then we'll be able to see our pet in the bar just as if she were frozen in time. So let's say we want a little bit more color than just the black and white of those marble pieces. Here, we'll add a few green succulent shapes. These are our kind of dry cactus flowery shapes that you might find a big old tarantula crawling around or hiding in. And we'll have them scattered in the rocks to look like she's nested herself in a dry, rocky area. So you see that I've cut a quarter of the melt and pour. We're going to color this with 2 colored micas so that we get a contrast in green, soapberry green and then a sea green mica. And then we'll come over here and cast these into our succulent molds. Now, if you love handcrafted projects like this, don't forget that you can find hundreds of recipes of soap and cosmetics over in the members directory at Thermal Mermaid, ready to print with full tutorials. Now, if you've never done this before, we have everything from easy to advanced and a full course on how to make your own soap from scratch. So don't forget to check out thermalmermaid.com and explore what we have to offer over there. Once these are poured, they only take about 15 minutes to set up, and we'll just pop them out, and then we'll set them aside, and they're ready to be added to our decorations. Alright, to get this started, we're going to set this into a base layer. So let's pour a few ounces of a liquid clear soap into the bottom, and then we can start creating the frame with the rocks and little cactus plants. Once we get the border in place in that bottom layer of liquid soap, this will set everything into place, and then we can start building upward from there. Now you guys at home, let me know how you feel about this project. Is it just too much to think about a tarantula in your shower, or would you like to see more of these monsters made into your soaps? Let me know in the comments below, and I'll show you what else you can cast into your melt and pour and create a playlist for you so that you can see the other creepers that I have in store. Of course, you won't want to miss the next monster, so don't forget to like this video and subscribe to the channel so you don't miss out. Alright, now once everything's in position and we have everything just the way we like it, let's lock this in with another layer of hot liquid soap.
No one ever sees me, I'm losing every battle. No one ever sees me, I'm losing every battle. No one ever sees me.
Now it's time to carefully place our centerpiece in the middle, and I guess I'm going to have to hold her while I pour another layer of soap. Now remember, this is the first time that I'm doing this too, and the soap is very hot, so we'll have to see how fragile her body is and whether or not she's going to hold up under the almost boiling temperatures. Now this is just going to take a few minutes to set up, so if I've done any damage, I can tell without ruining her whole body. But something did happen. It kind of looks like she's sitting on top of the soap after just a few minutes, so I'll need to pour another layer just to get a better look of what she's going to look like when she's under the soap. Well, I'm hoping she sinks a little bit, but while I'm waiting, let's put in the finishing pieces on the border. And then right here you can start to see what's happening. She's floating to the top. She's all dehydrated and she's filled with air and I can't keep her under. So now let's see what I can do to get her submerged so she stays drowned in my soap.
No one ever sees me, I'm losing every battle. No one ever sees me, I'm losing every battle. No one ever sees me, I'm losing every battle. Can somebody save me, I'm losing every battle.
Well, those ideas haven't worked. So what we've decided to do is just leave the whole thing alone for about 30 minutes and then come back and we'll add another layer in after it's all locked in. Next time, I'll just lock her feet into the bottom. Then we'll pour the soap and then that way she won't have a chance to escape like she's trying to do now. Alright, after about 6 hours, everything has firmed up and she's completely captured in this 2-pound block of soap and we're ready to pull her out so you can see what it looks like without that pink background. Now all we have left to do is clean this up and set her up to cure. This will harden over the next few days and it'll become a solid block. The entire project is over 2 pounds and it measures about 6 by 9 inches. So this is actually about the size of 6 bars of soap. Now, if you'd like to have this monster, she's on sale over at thermalmermaid.com/store in the store section of the website. And if you're a member of the recipe directory at Thermal Mermaid, I'll be adding a tutorial on this project with additional tips on what kind of monsters that you can put into your melt and pour pieces, where to get them, and then how to secure them in there so that you don't have any additional bubbles or other natural inclusions and it looks pretty clear. And that'll be along with the full recipe for these cold process stones and the decor that you see embedded in here. So if you want to recreate this at home, the full tutorial will be available for members in our members recipe directory. And here's what our spider looks like after 3 days. We do have a little bit of cleaning up to do, but she'll be polished, shiny, and new. If you enjoyed this project, check out thermalmermaid.com for more information on this and hundreds of others.